Hello, everybody. This is Hondo Carpenter, your Las Vegas Raiders beat writer on SI and the host of the Las Vegas Raiders Insider Podcast. It's great to be with you today. We are at point number nine of our in-depth series on what's facing the Raiders. It's going to be a total of 10. This is number 9. 10 issues facing the Raiders heading into training camp. Now, yesterday we talked about linebacker harmony. Today we're going to talk about cornerback stability. There is no mistaking that there is talent on this Raiders football team at corner. No one is saying this is a position. Quite frankly, there's no position on this team void of talent. But it is the thinnest and arguably the weakest on this team. And you all know the NFL is a passing league. You got to be able to run the football to win championships. But this is not where you can line up and run it 90% of the time. And even teams that do, they're able to disguise it. And so cornerback stability is of the utmost importance on this Raider team. It is a massive, massive issue. It's the elephant in the room facing the 2025 Raiders. If this group can step up, and make no mistake, there's talent there. But if they can, and if they do, then the Raiders have that chance of maybe even getting to 10 wins. And maybe surprising some people. There's a lot of youth there, and youth makes youth mistakes. But let's dig in on cornerback, which is a vitally important position in the National Football League. I've already done my projections of who makes the team, so I can just start right there with Jakorian Bennett. This is a guy came in his first year, looked good early. I believe he disagrees with me. Nate Hobbs disagreed with me that he got injured and then suffered a little bit of confidence, which is not uncommon in a rookie for his rookie year. But you may remember all last summer, I sang his praises. All last year. I've been a believer since before the draft in Jakorian Bennett. I talked about him before the draft. I knew the Raiders really liked him, and I really liked him. This young man is fast. Speed, 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 speed. He's aggressive. He's talented. He's confident, but he's not an egomaniac. Last year, played terrific. And then he got injured. And so the key for Jakorian Bennett in 2025, it is a money year. Year 3, y'all know, in the NFL, that's considered a money year. It's where you go make your money now. People are going to show you grace those first couple years if you've got a lot of talent. But by the time you get to the end of year 3, you've got to have shown something. And you have to show it with consistency. Now, Jakorian has already shown it. He's already shown it. But when you're going into year 3 and year 1 and 2 were hampered by injury, you now have to prove you can do it over a sustained amount of time. The best ability is availability. But let's go over the facts with Jakorian. Speed, check. He's got it. Athleticism, check. Got it. Brain, check. Got it. Size. Is he the biggest corner in the world? No. But he ain't small. He's perfectly physically, size-wise, able to play this position. And now it's a matter of staying healthy. It's a matter of working out, getting in NFL shape. And he had to learn that. I'm sorry, playing at Maryland ain't playing in the AFC West. And that's just reality. That's not a slam on Maryland. I'm a Big Ten guy. It's the reality. And then you add 20 games before the playoffs, 3 pre, 17 regular. The NFL is brutal. You've heard me say many times, it's not a matter of who is the best team going into the year that's going to win a Super Bowl. It is the deepest. And it is totally fair to praise the upside on Jakorian Bennett. I am leading the choir. But it is also fair to say it's a money year and he has to prove it. That's 100% fair. He has to be able to show the Raiders, hey, I'm there. Every week, week in, week out, I'm there. I don't think he's weak. I don't think he's a wimp. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying he now has to prove I'm reliable. In the NFL, you go from having potential, then you go to having some success, to then you have to prove reliable. That is Jakorian Bennett. That's JB. But listen, I am leading the choir, singing the praises of that young man. I like him. First of all, I like him personally. Wonderful kid. I don't know if I've met his parents. I may have because I've met so many of the players' parents. I don't know that. So if I have, forgive me. But this is a classic example of a young man raised right from a great family. He's got a little bit of edgy in him, but no ego. He's a gentleman, but he gets on that field and he'll chat it up a little bit. Not like Max, but he'll chat it up a little bit. I like that. You got to have that to be a corner in this league. You got to have that. I heard it said one time. Dre Bly, you may remember the all-pro corner. Great guy. I loved covering Dre. One of my all-time favorite players that I ever covered. Wonderful man, great husband, great dad, great family, just great player. I don't have enough praise. And he was an all-pro corner. And him and I were just kind of, the kids today would call it chopping it up. I learned that from Max, but him and I were just one day after practice. It was me and him, and I think Dan Wilkinson and Ernie Sims, and maybe Calvin Johnson was there. Maybe. I don't know. Calvin wasn't there. But we're all just sitting around, literally just chatting. And I asked him about his success because it's different at every position. Because we were talking about media success, we were talking about playing success, all that kind of stuff. It wasn't Dan Wilkinson. It was Sean Cody, the defensive tackle out of USC, was there. But I'm talking to Dre, and he said something. He goes, corner is not like any position. And that fascinated me. I go, explain that to me. He said, if you're an offensive lineman and you get beat, you can get mad because you physically want to glad handle the next guy. Goes same way linebacker, even safety, all that. He goes, but at corner, it is such a mental game. You can't let a great play or a bad play infect the next play. I thought that was brilliant from an all-pro. Of course, Dre Bly is brilliant. He's a great college coach now. But anyways, I thought that was brilliant. And that's where we sit right now with Jakorian. He's got that. He's got that ability to not let one good play infect the next one or one bad play. I like everything about JB. I'm a JB guy. Again, I'm conducting the Jakorian Bennett choir. So there you go. Next, D-Cam. Cameron Richardson. I like this kid. He showed a little something last year. I thought this was a good pick where they got him last year. And he showed some flashes. He showed some very interesting skills last year. Did he play like a rookie? Of course. He is a rookie, was a rookie. But I'm telling you, a lot of people sleeping on D-Cam. He's just a young pup trying to become a dog now. But that little pup did some barking last year. He's got a skill set. he showed why people think he belongs in this league. Now, do I expect him to be where he's going to be in year 3 this year? I don't. But do I expect him to be much improved? I do. And I expect you're going to see some things on him from special teams, making some plays, some confidence. But I like me some DCAM. Next, Sam Webb. I have shared this with you before. He is a just peach of a human being. What a great kid. I guarantee you, any of you out there would be thrilled if he was your kid. Just a great kid. And he occasionally will show some stuff. And it's enough that you keep him around. And you're like, man, if he can ever, I put it to you this way. You may remember this guy, you may not, but there was a really good relief pitcher for the Detroit Tigers by the name of Joel Zamaya. And I was covering the Tigers and got to know Joel really well. Wonderful kid. And man, he had a lot of speed with that baseball. He'd go well over 100 mile an hour. Yeah, but sometimes he would have some control issues. And I remember Jim Leland and I were talking. We were sitting in the dugout once up in Minnesota, up at the Metrodome when they played in the Metrodome. And we were talking pregame, and I asked him about Joel because I was a big believer in Joel. And he said to me, he's just got to learn to get that ball over the strike zone. And he said it's kind of like a power hitter that hits a lot of foul balls. He's got to learn how to straighten them out, swing sooner, swing later, whatever. And he talked about that's where Joel is. Sam shows flashes, and you're like, ooh, ooh. And then there's, ooh. There's a difference between ooh and ooh. Okay? But it's totally evident why they keep him around. But for his game, this is a monster camp for him. There's a position here wide open for Sam Webb. The door's open. Any one of these 3 guys could go get a starter's job. It's not like one of them plays at such a high level that they can't be beat out. This is the most competitive room on the Raiders 2025 team. But it's not a position void of talent. With Jakorian, with Sam, with Jakorian, you've seen flashes. Now, of the 3 of them, I think you've seen more from JB. But all 3 of these guys are going to compete. Then we come to Eric Stokes. This guy is the second most intriguing, tied for second most intriguing player on this team. I mean, on this position group. Tied for second. Eric Stokes looked like a Pro Bowl player early in his career. Suffered an injury and has never been back to where he should have been or where he was. No one questions his talent when healthy. Nobody questions his work ethic. Another great kid. But the Raiders believe he's healthy. Now he's got to show he's back. He's got to show it. If he does, I would not be shocked if he's a starter. The way he played as a rookie, he played like a Pro Bowler. Now, if you notice, we're starting to get a trend here. Devin White, Eric Stokes, there's some others. But guys who've come in who if they're healthy and playing the way they used to, Alex Kappa, these are guys that could have these guys straighten it out, like Jim Leland said, could propel the Raiders even to a better spot. I don't think that's reality to bet on that many players straightening it out. But I certainly think that you can plan on several, and the Raiders think that they have. I mean, I could conceivably see it if Devin White plays like the old Devin White, if Eric Stokes, Kappa, another guy we'll be talking about here in a moment, Darnay Holmes, if these guys come out and play like they did, I mean, I think you're sitting here and you're like, wow, all right, all right. I mean, Lonnie Johnson, uh, if these guys come out and ball, I think you could see John Spytek with GM of the year. Again, it's too many would you, should you, could yous. But the point of the matter is, now one of these guys was overpaid. You're not overpaying. You're letting these guys prove they belong, then giving them the contracts, but you're not extending your Raiders in a bad spot. Smart move. Stokes is one of those guys. Before I even knew the Raiders had interest in him, I thought, that may be a guy worth taking a flyer on. And that wasn't, I hadn't been tipped off at that moment yet. It was just a guy whose game I was aware of because of some people I know in Green Bay. But I like this kid. And Green Bay was willing to let him go and take a shot at another Raider. We'll see. But Stokes is an intriguing guy, and I want to say it. If he's got it straightened out, I expect him to start. But again, now I've just given you 4 names. All 4 should compete. And then we get to number 5, the most intriguing member of this team, the rookie Darian Porter. I mean, Darian Porter. This kid, let me just look at my note here real quick. I want to read you something. I mean, this kid, you pick him up early in the 3rd round, higher grade. This is a extremely talented player. Very good chance he may be the most talented corner on this team. Another reason why Spytek could be, I mean, he stole him at the top of the 3rd. Stole him. Highway robbery. And man, and you just kind of saw him in this off season, and you're like, ooh. And I didn't. There was none of the. There was a lot of ooh, and none of the ah. This kid is intriguing. I look at Porter. I mean, I look at Darian Porter, and I'm like, this kid, he just, he got a little, we would say up in the Midwest where I'm from, he got a little something, something. That kid's got a little bit of special in him. He's just got a little bit of, and when I say this term, I think today the term leans a little bit of arrogance. I'm talking about it from a guy born in 71. The term when I was younger, it didn't mean arrogant. It just meant confidence. I think now it's evolved into arrogance. So I don't mean it arrogant, but he's got some swag. He's just got a little, all right. So you beat me once. I double dog dare you to come for seconds because Darian Porter going to eat now. I like this kid. He going to make rookie mistakes, but he's just got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Again, I really wish I could think of a better term, but it's not arrogance. It's just he's confident. Let's go. Let's line up. Let's go. Let's go. I'll take you on. You may get me once, but you ain't getting me twice. You may get into my lunch pail and steal an Oreo once, but you ain't doing it twice. He just got that edge. And he's just. Do you remember I used to tell you how Amik Robertson? Everybody on the team just seemed to like him. Okay, now and Amik obviously went on played great for Detroit last year before his injury, but Amik was just a great kid. Now, this is early, but early on, Porter had that. Guys really liked him. I had several players mention to me, yeah, I like that kid. I think I'd say, what do you think of Porter? Yeah, man, he just, some guys you just know there's an it there. He's got that, but everyone would then follow it up, but man, good kid. Now, maybe the game changes him. Some people it does. And I don't know him spectacularly well. But he's just got that little bit of edge. I'm excited about him. When I sit down and talk about players who I can't wait to watch. Ding, 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 ding. Darian Porter's near the top of the list. He's going to be fun. And listen to me, Raider Nation. Dadgummit, listen. Give the kid room to be a rookie. Every rookie, not named Brock Bowers, makes rookie mistakes. The name of the game. Everyone not named Brock Bowers. So just give the kid a little room. Let him grow up. Let him become an NFL player. And I think he's got a chance to be special. Good kid, hard worker. And he's just got some of that. Corners are just different. I remember one time talking to Deion Sanders about this and about him. And one of the things that people really misunderstood about Prime as a player was, he would talk a lot of smack and all of that. But guys respected him because he played at such a high level, he could run his mouth. He could play with some swag because he backed it up. Okay? I am not saying Darian Porter is Deion Sanders. That is unfair. Just like I wouldn't tell anyone else that they're Brock Bowers. Deion and Brock are unicorns. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have some similarities. He's got that little bit of an edge. And you want that in a corner. JB had that his rookie year and lost it. Came back last year a little bit. But he's got that edge. Just that, I want to compete. This guy would take every rep if Patrick Graham would let him. He would jump in and take every rep. And he would want to be like, all right, me and Jacoby, one-on-one, all day. And he ain't going to be Jacoby most of the time. Because Kobe's Kobe. But he would want that because he's a competitor. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Then I want to talk about the last two guys. Darnay Holmes. This is a guy the Raiders got on a really good deal. Has been really good in his career. Another guy that you have proof of what he can do. Now you need to see it reestablished. Good Good guy. He's talented now. He is very ethereal. He is smart. You just watch him and you can just see his brain churning like a mad scientist. Most corners are pretty locked in when you've got when you're going to be in man coverage. But I watched him and he's looking straight on at the guy like I am you, but he's watching what's going on over here. He's got really good peripheral vision. He is a smart football player. That guy, and this is not a slam of him, his biggest benefit may be his football IQ. He gets the game. That guy can play football. That guy can play football. He's already proven that. And again, there are a couple guys here. If one of them hit, I mean, can you imagine if Darnay and Stokes are playing the way they play, and those are your two starters, and you got them on good deals for the team, and you got some young bucks jumping in playing nickel, or some young bucks jumping in and getting reps, but there's no pressure? It's what I mean. I'm not predicting it because there are too many would-you, should-you, could-yous. But these guys all hit. Spytek's GM of the year. And if they don't all hit, he still did a tremendous job putting together a roster, not gambling anything. Now, a guy who could compete, I don't expect it. I think he's going to make the 53-man, but it's still a name you want to keep in your head, Mello Dotson. Raiders stole him, UDFA. This is a kid that multiple teams had draftable grades on. Now, he's got some weak places, but he's got talent now. And I am not predicting him to make the roster. But if he did, I would not be surprised. I think if he made it, somebody's not playing well just because there are some holes in his game he's got to fix. But that kid belongs in the National Football League. He can play in this league. Now, he wasn't a first, second, third, fourth, fifth round guy, but he had a draftable grade. It's got to be developed. But don't rule out Mello Dotson. When you talk about stability at the corner, this is the weakest position on this team. But it's not void of talent. Very quickly in camp, these corners are going to be tested. I mean, you got Brock and Mayer. And I know that they're not necessarily always going to be in corner. I mean, those guys are not, regularly going to be covered by corners, but there will be some. Then you got Kobe, Trey, Dante, Jack. There's some talent here now. There's some talent here. And those corners are going to be tested every day. I can guarantee you one thing. Uncle Hondo is going to have his eyes watching them corners. Watching some of those older guys. Showing everybody, I'm back. Looking for a lot more ooh and a lot less ah. Looking for some of these young pups like a Mello and a Dante to say, hey, coach, I'm here. Let's go. I'm going to watch Dante trying to get every rep. He ain't going to do it. He's going to try. It's going to be competitive now. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be a great camp. Katie barred the door. Hey, do me a favor. Follow me on Threads and IG at HondoSR, on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Hondo Carpenter. And as always, si.com/NFL/Raiders. Massive amounts of Raider coverage you don't want to miss. We'll see you all real soon.